So my parents have gotten really obsessed with pickleball lately, which means I needed to learn how to make a pickleball paddle cover. There's like a ton of patterns online, but I didn't find a tutorial that just showed how to make it from using your own dimensions of the paddle. So this is that. For each cover, I just used 2 different patterns of cotton, a little bit of cotton batting, this little hook clasp in case you want to hang it from the top of your bag, and a zipper. So this green gingham and then this simple yellow. I am using just a regular cotton batting like this, and this will go on the front and back covers. I'm just using this simple one. I think it's about 14 inches long, but you can kind of manipulate the length as you need. Because there's no pattern for this, I did get a pickleball paddle out for reference, and then I just took a sheet of paper and I traced it so it'll look something like this. You can also choose how far down on to the handle you're gonna go. For mine, it cuts off right about here. So be sure to take into account the thickness of the pickleball paddle that you're gonna be using, just so that you can properly plan for that with the zipper part. The first thing we are going to do is cut out our outside fabric pieces as well as the cotton batting to go behind it, as well as the lining cotton fabric, which is not shown in this video, but you will need it and you'll be doing the sandwich method. I made this a lot bigger than the actual pattern that I have cut out, just so I have room to manipulate it later. So I'll cut it down afterwards. So here are the 2 outside pieces, and now I'm gonna take it in and just do a quilted pattern all along. Okay, so we have our zipper, which is 14 inches long. So we're gonna make the strips that surround it also that same length. And I'm also gonna make the strips 2.5 inches just so we have like adequate room, because I want them to completely flip over so that it's double lined along the edge. Okay, now we have our 2 strips and it's time to assemble it for the zipper. Okay, so we know that the width of our paddle is about 0.75 inches. So in the end, I want it to be about 1 inch tall. So we're going to put these 2 edges together. And instead of doing just 1 inch seam allowance, we're gonna bring it a little further, like right down the middle, just so that when it folds over, it will fully fold in half and we'll have a double lined edge. And now we're gonna put the stitch down here. So we're gonna be using a basting stitch since we're gonna be eventually undoing it, and this is just kind of like a momentary hold. So we're going to increase the stitch length quite high and then decrease the tension up here a bit. And now we can do our stitch. Seam allowance I'll be using is 1.5 inches. So now we can open it up, and then we're going to take it to the iron and press this down before adding the zipper. Now we're going to start ironing. Please ignore my other 32 projects that are currently in the works. Also, it's super okay if this isn't even, because we only need 1 inch-ish, maybe 1.5 inches for the sides, so a lot of this is going to end up getting cut off. And now it is time to add the zipper. So I'm going to take this side that's a little bit shorter just in case, and it needs to end up on the inside. But we're going to take our zipper and put it face down on the inside part of your fabric. So this is the end that's going to end up on the very bottom of the pickleball paddle, and this will end up somewhere in the middle. When we're lining this up, make sure the zipper is as centered with that line as possible, and then we're just going to pin it all down. Okay, once you have everything all pinned down, it's time to take it to the machine. And we are going to stitch all the way starting up here by the end of the zipper, bringing it down around here, really securing this end, and then bringing it all the way back up. Once you have your zipper stitched, now is the time that we're going to go in and seam rip across this whole thing. And now you have a working zipper with a lot of thread. So now the next step is kind of lining this up around your pickleball paddle and determining how much left of the perimeter you need. And then we're going to cut a strip of this same matching fabric that kind of completes the whole perimeter. And then we'll go about connecting them. So for mine, I do think I'm actually going to end the zipper maybe a little early. So I'm going to measure from here all the way around here, and then probably just tack on like 3 more inches just for some extra room, because we're also going to fold it over the top here. So I'm choosing to cut out 21 inches by 2.5 inches, which is definitely a little bit of overkill, but I'd rather have some extra space than run out when I'm actually putting it together. If you are tighter on fabric and want to make your measurements more exact, feel free to do so. So now we're going to take this piece and cut out an exact size of the inner lining as well as a batting piece, and we are going to quilt those all together. Adding the batting to this part will give it just a little bit extra structure, since this is the side piece holding it all up. And now that everything is ready to be quilted, we will take these 3 pieces to the sewing machine. So now that we have our 3 fabrics sandwiched again, which is the inner lining, the cotton batting, and the outside, now we are going to just kind of square it up and clean it up. So once your sandwich looks like this, you are ready for the next step, which is attaching it to the zipper part. But just before you do that, we're going to want to make sure that the zipper section and the quilted section that you just did are pretty equal in width. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about attaching the quilted part to the zipper section. The way I did it is I just folded over the quilted part to kind of create almost an inlet which hides the end of the zipper, and then you just put a simple stitch across for attaching, and I just went back and forth several times just so that it was super secure, and in the end it should look something like this. Now we just have to take care of that little tail that it left in the middle, and we are just gonna chop that off. Zipper is ready to go, so now we are going to set that aside for later, and we are going to resume working on the actual body pieces. So take out the little template that you had made from your paddle and put it on top of your fabric sandwich, and we are just going to cut along the outsides, leaving room for the seam allowance that you need. I think I did about 1/2 inch and I found that adequate. And in case you aren't like the most precise cutter in the world, I just would recommend mirroring your first front piece so that as you cut out the second piece, everything's just kind of lined up in case you weren't perfectly cutting with your original paper cutout. This next step is super optional, but if you do want to do some applique, which is adding on like these cute little accents, whether it's initials or like a little star, now's the time to do it. You will need fusible interfacing, and you will originally iron that onto one of your cotton fabrics. Then you'll cut out your shape or letter, and then you'll iron it on one more time after peeling off the back, and then you'll secure it just with a stitch. Right now I'm switching to a free motion foot, which I am obsessed with, and there's so many different uses that you can use it for, and we can get into that another time. But anyway, it is perfect for applique, and it just allows you to move in any which direction with your stitch and not be confined by going forward or backwards, and it's just the best thing ever. And it's only like, I think, $10 maybe on Amazon. Also, it does come with some sewing machines, so check out what you have in your little drawer, because you probably have it. Anyway, long story short, let's just stitch down our little star. And now we're moving on to the initials. So I'm just doing a straight stitch. A lot of people will prefer to do like the zigzag stitch just for like extra security. It really comes down to your overall taste and what you want your final product to look like. If you are okay with the edges coming up a little bit, a straight stitch is totally fine. But if you don't like that look at all, I would just recommend doing a zigzag stitch. Now is the hook and clasp, which is another optional part of the pickleball paddle. I find this a helpful piece if you want just a more finished look, if you like hanging it on the chains in the pickleball court, or if you just want to hang it from your backpack or bag. To make the hook part, all you need is a little piece of your fabric and fold it in half a couple times and put a straight stitch down it. If you're adding the clasp, don't forget to put it through the loop before you sew it down. To keep the clasp from just moving around, I'm going to put a straight stitch right underneath it. And again, this is totally optional, totally up to your taste if you want to do this or not. Now when you're placing it onto the front of your paddle, find the exact center and then clip it down. And it is time to start assembling the paddle all together now. So make sure you take the bottom part of your zipper and start it on whatever side you want to open it from, and then just clip it all the way along the front part of your paddle. And once that's all clipped on and secure, we are going to stitch all the way around with a seam allowance of whatever you had chose before when designing your zipper part. And then you can kind of like flip it just to check and make sure that you got everything sewed down together and there's no accidental holes. And right now I'm going to go back in and cut off any of like the larger areas, just so that I can go back in with a zigzag stitch to kind of secure everything down. And here's what the zigzag stitch will look like, so it'll help it not fray and just have an overall cleaner appearance on the inside. Now to finish the whole paddle body, we are attaching the back panel, and we do this the exact same way that we did with the front. So just like last time, we're going to clip it all down right along the edges and have the same seam allowance that we used for the front piece. Once you have trimmed and done the zigzag stitch for that second part, you can flip it inside out and kind of reveal what you've done so far. Make sure there's no holes where there shouldn't be, and make sure your zipper's in working order. And the very last thing that we have to do is add on the binding. Take a quick measurement around that opening of your pickleball paddle so you know how long to make your binding, and then just tack on like an inch or two for a little bit of extra room. And then I made the width about 2 inches. If you've ever made something like a quilt with binding, this is the exact same process as that, where you fold each edge in to meet at the halfway point and iron that down. And then you clip it all the way around the raw edges, just like I am here. And once you've done that, you will take it to your sewing machine and place a straight stitch all the way along that crease. Once you have that side stitched down, you're just going to pull it all the way through, fold it over one more time, and then you are going to stitch that next section down after you clip it. Because you want it to look best on the outside, I would recommend sewing with your vision being able to see the outside part. That way, you can make sure that you don't kind of go off the rails on accident. Anyway, stitch until the very end, but at the end, make sure you tuck in all of those raw edges. Just kind of like fold it or maneuver it however you like best, and then just sew that down. And once the binding is done, you are done, and you have a pickleball paddle cover. If you followed my instructions, it'll probably look something like this. But if not, that's cool too. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I know there are like a lot of patterns out there, and if you are someone who loves clear instruction and clear dimensions, that's great. But if you have a pickleball paddle and you're at least a little bit type B, I hope this video was something that you liked. Anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. I kind of just made this on a whim because, yeah, you just don't need a pattern for it, because if you have a pickleball paddle, you're good to go. You know exactly how big it needs to be. I kind of feel like maybe I should try a tennis racket next time. We'll see. Bye!